quick take. The Atlanta Hawks extended their winning streak to 10 games, their longest since 2015, and the longest active streak in the NBA with a 124-112 victory over the Orlando Magic. Stephen A., what is your reaction to the red-hot Hawks?
Well, you know what? The competition hasn't been that stiff. I mean, you got a couple of games against the Wizards, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Brooklyn Nets, or whatever. But damn it, it's the Atlanta Hawks. And when do they give you a reason to cheer? We got to hold on to these moments when we can. Jalen Johnson can ball. The brother's nice. And I'm so happy for Nikhil, Alexander Walker, who was in Minnesota over the last few years or so. Shai Gilgeous' his cousin. The brother can play. And, he's gotten an opportunity now. He's a starter, and he's averaging 20 a night, dropped 41 last night. Really, really happy for him and what he's doing right now. Atlanta's not a team you can ignore, and we got to keep it a buck, Big Perk, and just call it what it is. They're looking better now, obviously, without Trae Young. There's no way around that. We got to look at it. They wanted to move in a different direction and wanted to hand the franchise to a guy like Johnson, and he's showing that he is more than worthy. Make no mistake about that. Atlanta's looking good right now. Got to give credit where credit is due.
Yep, 10 straight wins for the Hawks. All right, yesterday, Shams Charania reported that the NBA will hold a vote at the Board of Governors meeting next week to explore expansion teams exclusively in Las Vegas and in Seattle. Four-time NBA champion Draymond Green weighed in on the idea of expansion last month.
I just really worry that there's not enough talent to add 30 more spots. I mean, you look at some of these teams around the NBA, and you don't know half the guys' name who take the NBA floor. I just don't remember being that way when I was growing up. And so I just think the talent pool is going to get watered down more and more from a basketball standpoint, and it already hasn't been that great.
I think the rate at which you expand needs to be brought into the conversation here, Stephen A., because if you go too quickly, Draymond Green's point becomes more valid. But by and large, is the talent pool in the NBA big enough to expand to two more teams so the field then becomes 32 teams?
I believe it is. I disagree with Draymond. I respect where he's coming from. Obviously, he's a four-time champion. He knows what the hell he's talking about. I get where he's coming from. But I respectfully disagree. And here's the reason why. First of all, let's take into account first things first. We should see a team in Vegas. There's just no doubt about that. Once upon a time, that was unthinkable. But now that you got the NFL there and you got Major League Baseball there, you're damn right you should see a team in Vegas. You should certainly see a team in Seattle, which I think Big Perk will confirm is a great, great city, all right, great sports town, and they deserve it. When we look at a lot of times some of this talent, you say there's not enough talent that it is. I think the NBA is loaded with talent. I think the issue is how it's utilized. Maybe if we got back to playing basketball instead of people that can't shoot threes, jacking up threes all the damn time, it wouldn't look so bad. Okay, maybe if coaches exercise their acumen a little bit more and stop acting like you can only win with 7 or 8, that you can't utilize your bench more effectively and give some cats an opportunity to shine and showcase their skill set, maybe you would see a little bit more. I just finished speaking, Big Perk, about Nikhil Alexander Walker, okay? Look at what he's doing in Atlanta right now, okay? Now, we all saw potential when he was in Minnesota. He's been to several teams, but we saw potential in Minnesota. But he's really having an opportunity to shine right now. Did we ever think Austin Reeves would look the way that he has looked? Podziemski can ball, okay? He showed potential coming into the league. But the point is that you see cats all over the place. You see a guy like Kuminga, and, he in Golden State, he can't get any time, and, they just can't work things out with Steve Kerr or whatever. But he might go someplace else, and he might look better. We never thought that Jimmy Butler would become an all-star and a guy that was capable of leading you to a championship round and stuff like that when he was coming out. There's a boatload of talent throughout NBA history that has shown you they can come into the league and really, really make a difference if you give them the opportunity to do so. So I'm never going to look at it and say, okay, That's 30 spots. And because there's 30 spots, can you go out there and find 30 players? You know another way you can look at it? Can you tell me you can't scour the league and catch and get 20 to 30 guys and put them on a team and you can't find some diamonds in the rough that can ball, that can show you what they can do? I think you can. And so I don't view it that way, the way Draymond does at all. I don't think that there's this dilution of talent where there's just not enough to fill a roster with 2 additional teams in the NBA. I don't believe that at all. I do think there's the potential out there to do that.
I'm with you, SA, and let me say this. We're going to have to expand even more in the next decade or so. See, the thing is, it's not just about the talent that's in the NBA. See, it's the talent that's about to come into the NBA. See, I'm in these AAU gyms. I'm watching college basketball. We've been talking about over the last 2 or 3 months, this is one of the greatest, if not greatest, freshman class ever for us, the college basketball. You talk about Boozer, A-Cuff, AJ the Bouncer, Peterson, all of those guys, right? Think about what's coming in behind them. See, that's the thing people don't realize. That is full of franchise guys, right? When you talk about, Anthony Black has a little brother that is the top point guard in the country down there in Florida, right? Marcus Spears Jr. is on his way to the league. He could potentially be a top 5 pick. He is going to be a top 5 pick in the next 2 years. We just had a guy, Caleb Holt, who just committed to Arizona, who's going to be one and done. When you talk about the talent that's coming up through American basketball, AAU, and when we talk about even going global, I was just at the Nike Junior EYBL circuit down in Memphis, Tennessee 2 weekends ago. And man, I'm telling you straight up, I seen 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 8th graders. Right, from Africa, from overseas, and they windmilling going between the legs. And I said, oh my God, basketball is in a beautiful place. See, we forget that basketball has went global. I just saw on the internet 2 days ago, they got another Victor Wembanyama down there in France right now at 14 years old. So when you talk about the talent, we're never lacking with talent. Right, I think this is a beautiful thing for us, the league and the expansion, because we need it, especially with it being global. And it's not about the talent that's in the league; it's the talent that's about to come into the NBA in the next 5 or 6 years.
Well, in the climate that we're in right now, Stephen A, I'm looking at ESPN.com right now with this mock draft that we have up. Top 10 players are all college basketball players right now. It's not having a one Wemby to go after where, when we talk about tanking, a lot of teams will try to increase their odds to go get that 1 or 2 players that are out there in a draft. So maybe it's just the current state of college basketball helping the argument of expansion because of the talent pool. But overall, do you think that expansion would help or hurt the NBA's tanking issue that we have right now?
Well, you know what? To me personally, I don't think it hurts it. I don't think it hurts it because I don't think that it could have gotten much worse. I think the fact is that folks were shamed into course correcting because it was just too flagrant. And to be honest with you, that's what made expansion even more palpable. Because here's the deal: if you ain't gonna go out there and give a full-fledged effort anyway, how difficult is it to match what you bring to the table? You got cats out here like Big Perk's talking about, where you in Memphis, you at the AAU, you in colleges, you got cats who want to play. You got cats who want to play ball. This is why the whole Darren Peterson thing has become a story that's just swelling in our conscience as the NCAA tournament approaches, because we're not accustomed to seeing cats that young on a collegiate level being out of a game because of cramps, because of flu. We're like, nah, ain't nobody trying to hear that. That's not what this is about. You seeing cats that want to go out there. Certainly you want the money, you want to get paid, you want to be, rewarded for your exploits and all of that other stuff. But make no mistake, these guys got a passion to play the game. And what has happened is the business of basketball has invaded the world of sports so much that because cats got such a business mentality that some of the times they look like they've forgotten where their passion once was. I'm not saying most or all, I'm just saying a few, but the few can contaminate the many. And anytime you're talking about expansion, You're talking about addressing that with the fervor that it deserves, reminding people that there are an abundance of youth out there who love playing the game, who want to be on the court, who want to showcase their skill set. And if you got 2 additional teams in 2 additional cities, particularly in locales like Vegas and Seattle, that you can add to the equation, hell yeah, I think that would be good for the league. I think that would be good for the sport. And I don't think it would dilute the product one bit. In the end, you're going to have 16 teams going to the playoffs, 14 to 16 teams going to the playoffs, right? We all understand that. That's what it's going to be. That's the way it's going to go down. Fine. No problem. That's what you're playing for. But we want to see people who want to play. And they go out on the court and they show you they want to play. As far as I'm concerned, the more the league expands, the more you have an opportunity to see just that. Got no problems with it at all.
And what have we been witnessing over the last 2 years? We've been witnessing teams move on from franchise guys, right? You brought up Trae Young. Atlanta Hawks, they moved on from him, right? You look at Dallas Mavericks, we could question that trade, but they moved on from Luka. They end up getting Cooper Flag, right? And there's a lot of Jalen Johnsons that are on the rise. And so when you think about this last point, but when you think about the trade deadline, the Memphis Grizzlies were trying to move on from Ja Morant. Do you understand why? Because these scouts are out there and they know the talent that's coming, and they know that it is full of franchise guys, cornerstone guys that they could build a franchise and future around.
And they know what